All right, good morning. This is Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com. Deep Dish Football Game of the Week 6 IHSA season 2017. Voted by you, the fans, is Geneva versus Batavia. It is time now to break down the Batavia season so far. Not that much to break down. They're 5-0. I think, to almost no surprise, I think that a lot of people thought that Batavia versus the St. Charles East game was going to be one of the more serious games versus Batavia. Batavia still has a very, very good roster with them this season, and almost you can say a time to challenge to go up to the Kelp for after Thanksgiving for the state title game. So let's break down a couple few things. Not that much to break down that much, especially with this head coach Dennis Pyre. I will get the last name probably wrong. I do mispronounce a lot of names. I do apologize to the Batavia people, the coaching staff, and the football team. Head coach Dennis Pyron or Piron. I do apologize, Coach Pyron. I'll just call you Coach P. I do apologize, sir. Okay, so basically they're 5-0. Beat Lamont 21-0. Beat Libertyville 24-10. Beat Streamwood 56-0. Beat Elgin 55-8. Beat St. Charles East 7-0, which was a pretty tough game. St. Charles East coming back from that loss last week to St. Charles North, but St. Charles East now is at 3-2. Batavia's at 5-0. St. Charles North lost one game. I think it was to Bolingbrook, if I'm not mistaken. I think they lost to Bolingbrook. But again, Batavia's in the catbird seat, 5-0. St. Charles North 4-1. Geneva 3-2. Geneva 3-2. St. Charles. This is conference play. Elgin 1-1, and St. Charles East 1-2. The most impressive thing is that Batavia has only given up 18 points in 5 games. That is impressive. The most points that they gave up is against Libertyville of 10 points, which is quite amazing for this Batavia defense. That tells you something, especially in them competing in the upstate 8 River. Again, Batavia is now has had a great history of disciplined defenses, disciplined character in that team, mental toughness installed into that team. Great defensive players with Nemec at safety, Genesee at a linebacker. I'm forgetting a few other players too. Offense, of course, they got a great offensive line. A huge hats off to that Batavia offensive line. But again, Batavia is looking good. They got their upcoming games is Geneva, of course, the big rivalry game. South Elgin, who's currently undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. Larkin, and then their last game is their big game. Their big another big rivalry game is St. Charles North at St. Charles North, which is another game to keep a close eye out for. Now, they basically have me personally, I think they do have to play off points because they have to get the 6 wins to clearly get into the playoffs. But I think they will. But they have a great chance of going undefeated Batavia. But again, Coach P and that coaching staff is a coaching staff that focuses the team on one game and one game only, not looking ahead of the season. Again, like I said, discipline, mental toughness, execution are the characteristics for that Batavia football team. They put their kids in the good spots to win the game. Simple as that. And just Geneva sort of shares those characteristics too. Batavia, though, that team is just unbelievable. They managed to produce a great number of players with the talent to exceed to that D1 level year after year. It's quite impressive, especially for Batavia when you go out west. But it's going to be a great game between Batavia and Geneva. But their season is looking good so far. And one of the key things, especially nowadays with high school defenses and the tackling techniques, and some say defenses giving up a lot of points, as you can point to Peoria giving up it's like 70 points or whatever. But Batavia, if you have a great high school defense, giving up that low amount of numbers per yards, points, That's a huge, huge, um, how do you say it, motivation for that team to do great in the playoffs and to be playing football on Thanksgiving to Kelp. But again, I know Coach P has his team always focused on one game ahead. And again, that coaching staff is unbelievable. Great coaches. I mean, from you talk about a coaching staff that has coaches from the freshman level to the sophomore level to the varsity level. I've met 3 coaches from the Batavia staff, all great guys, future head coaches, great young coaching staff. They have a great amount of teaching characteristics in them to get those kids ready for the Batavia football team. And when you get that and you put together a winning attitude and, like I said, discipline and execution, that's a winning formula for a football program, especially a high school football program, and especially in the state of Illinois. And that's quite impressive what Coach P has done and has for that team, and that the history of Batavia football for what it does. Completely impressed with Batavia football. Actually, I was hoping to see Batavia football since covering 2 years of IHSA football, and I finally get to see Batavia football this Friday night. But it's going to be a good game. Um, I'll be going in towards the roster tomorrow for Batavia, coaching points, and everything else. Keep it here at deepdishfootball.com. Follow Coach Big Pete Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. Deep Dish Football Live, 8 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday, talking about the game. Also, a little bit about the game. More videos, doing magic numbers, everything else for this great rivalry game between Batavia and Geneva. Next video is going to be about the Geneva season so far. Keep it here. If you like my work, also please subscribe to deepdishfootball.com, Deep Dish Football Coach Big Pete on YouTube. Feel free to, if you like my work, please feel free to leave a tip on deepdishfootball.com on the right-hand section. Leave a tip, 75 cents, a dollar. Doesn't matter if you like my work. It's good. If you don't like my work, I do apologize. But again, Deep Dish Football game of the week, Batavia versus Geneva. Let's keep it going with pregame analysis. I will do it for the whole week. Magic numbers, keep it here. DeepDishFootball.com game of the week, Geneva, Batavia, week 6, IHSA season 2017.